Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Keith. This is all things Tenerife and more. Still in Dublin. We're still in the middle of May, and at the moment I'm up in Malahide. Lovely little village. Hang on a sec. Spin you around. Now, if you're coming to Malahide, I suppose as a tourist, Dart is probably your best bet. If you're not driving, Dart is your best bet. This is it, Dart station. As you can see, smack bang in the middle. Pretty little train station as well. Smack bang in the middle of Malahide. So, bearings from here. Malahide Castle is that direction, which we'll finish up in. I'll bring you over there in a minute. So, what's Malahide got? It's a pretty little village, and if you're looking for somewhere outside of Dublin City, the last few vlogs I've done have been a bit on the dark side, a bit on the dismal side. I don't mean that. They were just, weather wasn't great. Is today, not too bad. It's all today. It's just quite sunny. But they were, don't get me wrong, they've done very well. As vlogs go, they did very well. But they were a bit dark, and huge amount of comments about how bad, I suppose, Dublin looked and how bad it was being seen, mainly by locals, I suppose. But yeah, I have to admit, it doesn't look great in the city, but that's just because weather is one thing and it has changed. But today I thought I'd show you a little bit of Dublin. That's just the side of it, and this is about a 40-minute drive from city centre. If you're on the train, probably you're at the same. And as you can see, you've got the train straight out. Now, what have you got out here? You've got Duffy's Bar for a start. Cracking little spot. There's some great bars, great restaurants. In fact, I'm in one of these this evening. My niece is 21 today, and we have a family dinner out here this evening. So I'll be back out here this afternoon, or this evening myself and my partner. And yeah, no, it's early in the morning. It's, I think, about 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning. A little one with her veil on. She's obviously making her communion today. She must have been getting her hair done for the occasion. So this is the cross at Malahide. So you have Malahide up there. Actually, I spent a lot of my youth up here. A friend of mine lived just up on the left-hand side there, beyond the bank. And so yeah, I have very fond memories of this, of Malahide. Now again, if you're looking for somewhere a little bit different, there's a beautiful hotel, which I'll walk you down as far as the hotel, and then I'm going to bring you to Malahide Castle and show you what's going on there. Now, this is new since the last time I've been out here, and it's been a long time since I've been out here. Fowler's Bar. Okay, live music every Monday night. Nice to know. Let's have a look. Food. Let's see what you think. Price wise for Dublin, actually not bad. Average there, evening or sort of main course, about 18 euros. Now, my two favourite bars, Gibney's across the way. There's one of my favourites. Where again you'll find a huge amount of locals. I've just copped that Fowler's is Old Smith's. Ha! Jeez, I'll tell you the last time I was out here. That used to be Smith's. It was Smith's and Gibney's. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what that used to be. Wow. So as you can see, it's a pretty little village. Now, it's a seaside village, but I don't think it's a fishing village. I wouldn't refer to it as a fishing village. I've never referred to it as a fishing village. I can give you an idea of prices. Okay. There's a, I think, 3-bed. 3,570 per month. Okay, 16 top of park. 725,000. 780,000. 720. As you can see, these are 3 bedrooms. They're nice houses. They're not huge houses, but they're nice houses. But they are in and around the 750, 800. It's 840 Biscayne. So, as you can see from that, Malahide is kind of an expensive little place to live. It's certainly an expensive place to rent or to buy in. Considering it's 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning, it's a pretty active little village. I always love it. I always like being out here. And as I said, I spent a lot of my youth out in this area. I spent a lot of time in the next village up, which is Portmarnock. I had an old aunt who lived there. She wasn't old at the time, but I spent a lot of time with her and my uncle during the summertime. Now we'll take a little wander down this way. And I'll show you the harbour. Oh, Macari's is still here. Great little fish and chip shop. Now this, you have to agree, is slightly nicer than the last couple of vlogs that I've done from a scenic point of view. And it's still Dublin. So there are places outside of Dublin that you can go that you still, and you know what, you still get that local vibe. You get much more of a local feel because there's a lot of locals out here. Now I know some Dubliners watching this will have a different opinion, and I respect that. I know what they're going to say, but I won't say it. I leave them to say it. But it is slightly posher out here than it is in Talbot Street, Gardiner Street, Sheriff Street, the last couple of places that I've been vlogging in. It's a different demographic, but this is a beautiful little place, and there's so many pretty little restaurants. That's amore. Pretty little Italian. And not to mention the fact that the view is kind of special. We'll go this way. Now, Siam Thai is a beautiful, name says it, Thai restaurant. And this is the harbour. You'll see what I mean when I say it's a pretty little village, but it's not a fishing village. Like I said, I spent a lot of my youth out here. I was born and bred in Ballymun. Most people will know who watch this. It's a council estate, and the reason I sort of speak the way I do maybe is because this is where I spent most of my time growing up. There's the harbour. Isn't that just beautiful? Not as big as Howth, it's very small compared to much smaller than Howth, but it's a beautiful spot. Now if you walk, there's a silver golden sand beach, runs a couple of miles from here and it keeps on going. If you follow the coast all the way down, you end up in Portmarnock, which is silver sand beach, and that's stunningly beautiful. And again, it's quite sandy beach, and I will do a vlog on that one day. I'll just bring you for a walk down it, because it would put any beach anywhere in the world to shame. And I mean anywhere in the world. It's golden sandy beaches. It's an absolutely beautiful spot. And see, this to me is as much Dublin as Temple Bar is. In fact, I'd give me take here any day over Temple Bar Candy. It's not one of my favourite spots. But if you want to visit Dublin and you don't want to go into town, you don't want to do that. If you're on an American tour, and I just want to say hello to my American vloggers and hello to my Canadian vloggers, which are my subscribers, which I've quite a few of now. This is more where I would send you if I was recommending somewhere to go in Dublin. So here's the Malahide Scout Den. Looks a lot nicer than it did when I was a kid. When I was younger, the Scout Den was where you went on a Saturday night. There's a kids' disco on here every night, every Saturday night. And yeah, it was a little shack back then. It's come on a long way since those days. Anyway, that's a long time ago. But yeah, why would you come out here? This is why. So not better than waking up in Temple Bar. You still have a great selection of bars in here. There's 3 or 4 lovely bars in here. Loads of great restaurants. Plenty to do. So if you're in Dublin for a short period of time and you're looking for sort of the Dublin, to me, the Dublin experience without the lunacy of Dublin city centre, excuse me, well then this is the place to go. And not to mention they've got one of the nicest hotels, and we'll show you that now in about 2 minutes. But this is just so beautiful. The walkway tennis club is in there. And if I'm not mistaken, you can use it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think you can use it publicly as well. So I love these sculptures. So, like I say, this is an alternative to Dublin city centre, and a nice alternative. It's like plenty of nice bars, plenty of nice restaurants. The Grand Hotel, absolutely fabulous hotel. So if you're looking, as I said, if you're looking to stay outside of Dublin, but you want to see Dublin, you want to get a little bit of an experience of Dublin, to me this is it. Grand Hotel. And there's quite a few, if you check out Airbnbs, there's quite a few Airbnbs in this area as well, which might be a little bit cheaper than that hotel, but what a view. Okay, now I'm going to walk you up to Malahide Castle, which is an absolute must-see, even if you're just in Dublin, never mind whether or not you are staying in Malahide. Just definitely worth seeing. So let's head up there now. Okay, so Malahide Castle, like I promised. So Malahide Castle sits on 260 acres of land. It has been the home to the Talbot family for over 800 years. Medieval, it's a medieval castle. I'm going to give you a view of some of the parklands. Now, what's up here? Model Railway Museum, if that's your thing. It's a miniature model railway exhibition here, which you can buy tickets for. There's also a fairy walk for children, which you can walk through the forest, and there's various sculptures, little fairy houses along the way. It's very pretty. Lovely thing to do during during Christmas time, and a magical thing to do at Christmas time. So if you're local and want to do something nice with the kids for Christmas, keep your eye on Malahide Castle. There's some lovely events on here. It has occasionally, I don't know whether it still does, but it used to be a market on here, which I used to do myself many years ago, in the days when I made furniture, and I used to sell it here. I had a gazebo. I actually sold it literally there in this area here. There used to be markets here. So there's the castle itself, and it has been a venue for concerts and operas, believe it or not, which is one thing I would love to do. Don't get me wrong, not sing one, because that wouldn't be nice, but go and see one. It's one of those things, it's on my bucket list of things to do, is to see an opera, and great setting for it. You can only imagine. So as you can see from the plane taking off, not a million miles away from the airport, about 25 minutes or thereabouts, and here we go. This is Malahide Castle. Now you can do tours around the castle. They do booked tours, If I'm not mistaken, it's €10 for children, 16 for adults, and there's they do a family ticket for, I think it's €46. I know I'm not very great with remembering things. I checked the website before I came in. So yeah, and the tour is interesting. As I said, it gives you the history of the Talbot family and the history of the park and grounds, because there's beautiful botanic gardens here. Thousands of species that were brought over by the Talbot family. And as you can see, it is a beautiful, beautiful building. And as I say, if you want something a little bit different, there's a coffee shop downstairs. Actually, no, good question. I don't know whether there is anymore. There used to be a coffee shop downstairs, but that might have changed, because there's a large coffee shop attached to it now. So yeah, I would nearly guarantee that the coffee shop is no longer in the castle, because Avoca, which is a place well worth visiting when you're here, it's in sort of the old stable area of Malahide Castle. And as you can see, it's a beautiful little building. Now, I spent a lot of time here when I was younger, but history of it I'm not completely au fait with. I know there is a ghost Puck who's supposed to haunt the old abbey here, and a white lady, if I'm not mistaken. But then again, as I said, I spent a lot of my youth here. History wouldn't have been my thing back then. But as you can see, somewhere to walk around. And as I said, if you stay in Malahide as a base for staying in Dublin, as opposed to the city centre, this is what's on your doorstep. Now, I think I'd prefer this as a memory of Dublin, or as a memory of Dublin City, rather than Temple Bar, you know. I mean, this is beautiful. And like I say, you have quite a lot to see in the village itself. And then when you finish having a little wander around, you can go in here to the courtyard, to Avoca. Avoca and the Butterfly House. Again, something else I didn't know was here. Model Railway Museum I knew was here. The Butterfly House I didn't know was here. Okay. Again, I wouldn't imagine it's hugely expensive. So I won't bring you into Avoca because it's basically just food, clothes. If you are looking for something a little bit different, I suppose, to bring home if you're over here on holidays, Avoca would be a good place to start looking. So as you can see, temperature's picked up a little bit. I had to take the jacket off, it's got quite warm. But so this is it. This is Malahide. This is my alternative to Dublin City Centre. Well, one of many alternatives to Dublin City Centre. You don't have to come to Ireland and stay in Dublin City Centre all the time. You get to have, there's a huge amount of variety. Just do a bit of research. Have a look at me and other vloggers like this if you want to see what Ireland's all about and what Dublin's all about, and have a little look around. So if you like what you're seeing, hit the like, subscribe, and the bell for notification. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you in the next one.